Welcome to this video on analytical geometry, and we're going to take a look at the equation of a straight line. So to find the equation of a straight line, I put a table together with useful formulae. The first one, y equals mx plus c, is the familiar one, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Then x equals k is the vertical line where the gradient is undefined and k is a constant real number. Y equals k is the horizontal line where the gradient is 0 and k is the constant real number. Then a formula that you might not be familiar with, x over a plus y over b is 1, where a is the x-intercept and b is the y-intercept of the straight line. And then y minus y1 equals m, bracket x minus x1, where m is the gradient and x1 semicolon x2 is a point on the line. So in the first question, we say determine the equation of the line with a gradient of -3 and passing through the point to -1. So the formula I'm going to choose to use will be y equals mx plus c. So gradient means m is -3, so y equals -3x plus c. If it says passing through the point 2 and -1, I'm going to write my 2 and -1 over here. The 2 represents the x, the -1 the y. So I'm going to substitute -1 equals -3 times 2 plus c. So -1 equals -6 plus c. To isolate the c, I say -1 plus 6 is 5 equals c. Therefore, y equals -3x plus 5. Determine the equation of the line passing through the points -3, 2 and 5, 4. If I want to use the equation y equals mx plus c, I first need to calculate the gradient. I know that the formula for the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to take my -3 and 2, and I'm going to make that x1, y1. And I'm going to take my 5, 4, and I'm going to make that x2, y2. Doesn't really matter if you swap them around. So I'm going to get my gradient equals 4 minus 2 over 5 minus -3, which becomes a positive 3. So if you simplify it, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 5 plus 3 is 8. That gives you a quarter. So if I substitute it back, I get y equals a quarter x plus c. Now you can substitute 5, 4, or you can substitute -3, 2. It's your choice. I'm going to choose -3 and 2. So this is my x, that is my y. So 2 equals a quarter times -3 plus c. So 2 equals -3 over 4 plus c. So to isolate my c, I'm going to get rid of the -3 quarters. So 2 plus 3 quarters, and that will give me 11 over 4. So therefore, y equals a quarter x plus 11 over 4. In this question, we give you an x-intercept and a y-intercept. So the formula I'm going to use will be x over a plus y over b, and I'm going to set it equal to 1, where x is the a value is my x-intercept. So I'm going to go x over -3 plus y over my b value being my y-intercept of -2 equals 1. Put that 1 over 1, then your lowest common denominator will be -6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 2 over here, multiply by 3 over there, and then multiply by -6 over here. Drop the denominators. So therefore I get 2x plus 3y equals, just want to put the negative in there. So I get -6. And then I just need to get it in standard form. So you isolate the y. So 3y equals -2x minus 6. So y equals negative 2 over 3x and then minus 2. So determine the equation of the line passing through the point negative 1, 4 with an angle of inclination of 135 degrees. Now the angle of inclination, I know that tan theta will be the gradient of my straight line. Now that theta, I just gave it a name, that is my angle of inclination. So I know that is 135 degrees. And that will give me my gradient of my straight line. So tan of 135 degrees is negative 1. So therefore, y equals mx plus c. So y equals negative x plus c. Then I've got a point that you can substitute, and I'm going to use this formula so that you can just see how it's used. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And I'm going to use this negative 1 and 4 as my x1, y1. So I'm going to say y minus 4. I know that my gradient is negative 1. And then x minus minus 1 becomes a positive 1. Then y minus 4, distribute the negative 1 into the bracket, so it's negative x. And then minus 1 times 1 is negative 1. So y equals negative x minus 1 plus 4 is positive 3. So therefore y equals negative x plus 3. This then brings us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggestions, please feel free to make those suggestions. And if you have any other sections that you would like recordings on, please let us know. Thank you.